I started working on this film with a simple question. Why am I a heterosexual? If you identify as heterosexual, it is a funny question to ask yourself out loud. The word is not that old. The first written record we have of the word is from May 6, 1868, in a private letter from a Hungarian translator named Carola Maria Kurtbeny to a German lawyer named Karl Heinrich Ulrichs. In the letter, Kurtbeny lays out his arguments to oppose a Prussian law that punished men for having sex with other men. Kurtbeny argued that this law violated the rights of men, and in the same letter, he also coined the word homosexual. So if we think about it, before 1868, well, there were people who felt desire for someone of the opposite sex, and people who felt desire for someone of the same sex, and of course those who felt both desires. There was no name for these different kinds of people. There were no homosexuals, and there were no heterosexuals. In my readings and research on Kurtbeny, I also learned that he was an important translator and a promoter of Hungarian culture. One of the poets whose works he translated was Sándor Petőfi, who is now considered the national poet of Hungary and died in 1849 in a battle during the Hungarian Revolution and War of Independence. I will read a fragment of one of Petőfi's poems. I read it because of the question he asks, because he does not name his beloved, but rather asks his beloved for a name. What shall I call thee? When I am touched by the glance you let fly, that gentle dove with every feather an olive branch. Its feel is so good, softer than silk or a cradle pillow. What shall I call thee? What shall I call thee when your voice rings out? Those sounds, if they could hear them, that would make the dried up trees of winter put out leaves, imagining their tardy redeemer, spring had come, with a nightingale singing, what shall I call thee?